Want to see something cool? The measure of integrity is when someone says they're going to do an impossible thing and then does it. Call your shots. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. When a wonderful woman lost her house in a fire, she didn't know it, but one of her neighbors reached out and asked me for a miracle. Because tucked under the torch timber of her burned out house, pancaked under the second floor in what used to be the roof, was her first car. A 1965 Mustang convertible. She still had it after all these years, and he asked me to rescue it. You've seen us do heavy lifts on this channel, rotors and stators on giant generators being plucked out of power plants and placed back with the accuracy of 1,000th of an inch. There's only one company to call if you have to move big, delicate, priceless things. Gelock. So I called my buddies with the big boy toys. Gelock is a weird company that most people never think about. They move things, big things, impossible things. When you see those 500-ton stamping presses, giant CNC machines, and million-dollar robots in my videos, it's a pretty safe bet that the guys who put it there were Gelock. It's what they do, and they do it better than anyone else. On a cold, wet April morning, Gelock wiggled a crane 3 sizes too big for the single-lane streets of the old neighborhood right up the front lawn of the burned-out house. They showed up with a small crew of motivated dudes, and after the required 2 hours of staring at the problem, wondering just how far we could safely tempt fate, we had a plan. Such as it is. It took a bit of doing. None of us had ever tried to lift a house off a classic car before, but the proper application of professional physics and heavy equipment can work miracles if we're willing to get a little dangerous. There's a time and place for jobs that have a script, but in cases like this, what you really have is a team of smart, experienced people who are masters of their craft and know how to use their tools to the very limits of engineering and ingenuity. This is where Gelock shows their genius, because you can't plan for this. It's practice, experience, and the ability to deliver through dangerous adversity on demand. We started by cribbing up the high side of the rubble just to try and make sure it didn't fall any more while we were working above it. Nothing about this was safe, but you accept the risks involved and try to make it as safe as you can. We worked from the top down, pulling off as much of the burned out rubble as possible to remove all the weight we could. This was filthy, dangerous work, working on a wet wooden slope with everything shifting as we moved. After hours of work cutting away as much rubble as possible with levers and beams, slings, and cribbing, we got in position to gently lift the upper floor off the car just enough to pull it out. The house groaned and popped as a century of wood bent again in ways God never intended. But with over 6,000 pounds of weight on the cable, the ruins slowly released their grip on the Mustang. With quick thinking and a twitch of the switch on the winch, the car rolled out of hell and into the sunshine. She's a little worse for wear, and those wrinkles will need ironing out, but with nothing more than a new battery, she started right up and drove to the body shop for a well-deserved makeover. I want to sincerely thank Gelock for helping us save not just a treasure from a little old lady's childhood, but a piece of American history. You guys made a miracle happen today, and I'm sincerely honored to have gotten to hang out and work with you gentlemen once again, because you're pretty cool.